All of these books were £5 or less. Hello bookish people, welcome to my channel. My name is Annie and I am really excited about today's video because this is a book haul where all of the books cost £5 or less. So I got all of these books from The Works, my local indie bookshops and charity shops, all of which are places that will not break the bank. I have a mix of YA, adult and middle grade. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about reading is that you have to spend a lot of money to get a good book. And although sometimes books can be expensive, there are places you can shop that will bring the prices right down. I have always heard people say that cheap books are not good quality or they're not worth reading, but in today's video, I am going to prove that that is not true. There are so many hidden gems out there that are completely worth your time and are really fun to find as well. One of the things I love about searching for budget-friendly books is that you never know what you're going to find and you get that little buzz when you find something special or a really great deal. So let's just get into the books that I have bought. So these first books are all from The Works, which is like, I don't really know how to describe it. It just sells so many things, but like stationery and art supplies and also books. They sell all different types of books, non-fiction, children's books, adult books, romantasy, self-help, literally like little kids' board books. They have so much choice and the prices are so low. So the first one that I picked up is Twin Crowns. This featured in my January TBR, which if you haven't seen, I will link it up above. But this is a YA fantasy book that follows two princesses. Oh, and they're both twins. One has been raised to claim the throne and the other has been raised to kill her sister. This one cost me £4. I was so excited when I saw it. This is something that I've wanted to read for a while and £4 is so cheap. After I bought this, I then went to my indie bookstore and they actually had it for £3.50, which is cheaper than The Works. So I kind of wish that I'd gone there first, but £4 is still an amazing price for a brand new book. Then I picked up Dreadwood. I picked this up for £3. I saw this a few months ago on the Waterstones website and I have really wanted to get my hands on it since. This is a This is a middle grade comedy horror style book. Just peel that off. The next book is Amelia Fang and the Barbaric Bull. This is a book series I have wanted to read for such a long time. And this was only £4. This is not quite a middle grade. It's whatever slightly below middle grade is because it's sort of like, it's a picture book. So it's somewhere a little bit below middle grade, but not suitable for younger readers. This follows a vampire, Amelia Fang, and it just seems like it's going to be loads of good fun. This is the type of thing that I would have liked when I was younger, and I make a conscious effort to pick up children's and middle grade books that I would have enjoyed as a child to satisfy my inner child. So again, this was only £4. The next one I am super excited about, and that is Belladonna, and this was £3.50. This is really hyped at the moment on BookTube. This is a relatively new release. I have been seeing it everywhere. So the fact that it's only £3.50 is amazing. So it just shows that affordable books aren't just old releases or underhyped books. You can get bestsellers and really popular books really cheap. This is a dark atmospheric YA fantasy, and it is the first in a series. I believe it's a trilogy actually. So those were the 4 books that I picked up in The Works. So I'm going to move on to the charity shop section now. I would also like to add that I did buy more books in the charity shop and the indie bookstore, but they were actually Christmas presents for my family. We found a brand new hardback copy of The Thursday Murder Club, which I really wanted to buy for my parents. I also found a copy of the Alperton Angels brand new hardback and a copy of Red Rising that was secondhand and you could tell that it had been read, but it was still in really good quality. I think I'm in good condition. But in this video, I'm just going to show you the books that I bought for myself or that my partner bought for herself because they are wrapped. So my partner bought herself The Hunger Games. She has not read the books before, but we have recently watched the films. I forced her to because she wasn't interested. So now that she has watched the films, she would like to read the book. So she picked this one up for herself. This is in great condition. The spine has not been broken. The pages are absolutely fine. And this was £2.49. Then I picked up Little Nothing. I have never heard of this book before. But the cover is absolutely stunning, and it says it's dark and fairy tale-esque, which is something I completely gravitate towards. So this is one I'm really excited to pick up. It says mixing fable and folklore with a cast of remarkable characters. It's wild, witty and subversive, full of compassion, tenderness and love lost. It says it has taken a fairy tale and transformed it into something provocative and unsettling, a pitch black allegory full of mystery and magic. That is right up my street. And this was 99p. The spine is slightly cracked, but I mean, it doesn't matter really. The cover is absolutely pristine, and so are the pages. Oh, that one didn't come off as smoothly. Next, I picked up Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. This one you can tell has been read, but it's really not that bad. This was only £1, and I have been wanting to read these for the first time. I have never actually read Percy Jackson. I was an absolute Harry Potter fan when I was younger, and for some reason I was like, oh, Percy Jackson, that's trying to rip off Harry Potter, and I rejected it with my whole heart. But now I am an adult and I think I would like to give these books a go. So I'm obviously going to start with the first one, which is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. And for £1, how could I say no? Next is a book that I have wanted to pick up for years, and this is A Murder Most Unladylike. This is a middle grade, and it's a slightly Victorian Gothic murder mystery for children, and it is the first in a series. This, again, was only £1. The spine is very slightly cracked, but not enough for it to be a problem. The pages are absolutely fine. You can tell it's been read, but that's what people are supposed to do with books, so I can't really have a problem with that. So this is the next book that I picked up, and I have actually only just looked at the back. My partner picked this up for me. I thought this was the first few books in the Suki Stackhouse series, but this is actually just the short stories, which isn't what I wanted, but it's fine. It was £1, and I'm sure I would read these at some point anyway. So Charlaine Harris wrote the True Blood series. They started off as books and have now been turned into a TV show. I have watched the TV show. I absolutely loved it, so I would like to give the books a try. Obviously, I can't yet because I don't have the first one, but this was £1, and it includes 10 short stories, and yeah, £1 for 10 short stories is amazing. So next are the books that I got from my local indie bookstore. When I say indie, that means it is an independent bookshop. It is not run by someone like Amazon or Waterstones. It is a small business bookstore. Now, I was always under the impression that if it was an independent bookstore, it would be more expensive because they don't have access to huge warehouses like Amazon does. But I was so shocked when I went in and found the books are so affordable and great quality. They have new and unread books, but they also have secondhand books. And my local store does this amazing offer that if you read a book and then bring it back, you get money off your next book. So you do sort of a book swap. So you get £1 off the brand new books, and you get half of your money back on the secondhand books. So if it was £1.50, you would get 75p back, and you understand what I mean. So let's get into those books, because these I am so excited about. So the first book is The Witchery. How stunning is this cover? And this one was £3.50. I don't know if this is secondhand or not, because the spine is completely unbroken. The pages are completely intact. There are no marks anywhere, but it's £3.50. So that to me would imply that this is one of the cheaper books in the shop. Therefore, it must be used. But there is nothing that indicates that this book is used. This is a YA fantasy. It obviously includes witchcraft, but this also follows a group of friends, so there is quite a light-hearted, wholesome element to it rather than a dark element, and I'm really excited to give this one a try. Next, I picked up a couple of classics because 2025 is going to be the year that I finally read some classics. So the first one is Wuthering Heights, which is the book that I have been wanting to get to the most. This cover is absolutely stunning. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to have it. And then when I saw that it was only £3.99, I was sold, absolutely sold. So this one is a new one. This is unread. This is brand new. So £3.99 for a brand new unread book with such a beautiful cover is a bargain. Then I also picked up A Christmas Carol. I'm aiming to read this next Christmas because it's past Christmas at this point, so I'm not going to be picking it up this year, but it is really beautiful and I didn't want to leave it behind. And I have made a note on my phone that I want to read the Christmas Carol at Christmas. I have a video idea for lots of different Christmassy themed books that I am going to read. So when I saw it, I could not leave leave it behind. And this was £3.99 as well, because this is also brand new. My partner picked up herself the first Terry Pratchett book. I can't say much about it because I've never read it, but she saw that it was £3.50 and she was over the moon. Next, I picked up Illuminae, but I actually picked this up as a Christmas present for my partner. Can you tell I am pre-filming this video because I'm talking about Christmas presents, yet this video has gone up in January. So anyway, Illuminae, I picked this up for my partner because she said she was interested in sci-fi, and we buddy read The Alperton Angels a couple of months ago, and she really liked the format of it all being told in letters, and this is all taught in like letters and spaceship logs and things like that. So it is a really chunky book, but I think she will fly through it because of the formatting. And it was £3.50, which I was really impressed by. And then the stars of the show in this haul, I picked up these 2 hardback copies of the Shea Earnshaw books. I read The Wicked Deep a couple of years ago and I absolutely loved it. But I was so disappointed that this cover is the paperback cover in other countries, but in the UK we have a different one. And this is only the hardback one, but I could never find it in stock online. So when I saw this, I almost screamed. And this was only £4, whereas if you look on Amazon, it's available via some other sellers through Amazon, but for like £11 plus and then delivery. So the fact that this was £4 and it is so beautiful, it is just such a beautiful cover. I am obsessed. You may be able to tell that I don't really have hardbacks. I just prefer the feel of a paperback, but I could not leave this. And then I also picked up the hardback of Winterwood, and this was also £4. So I read this book in December and I absolutely loved it. I was a little bit unsure if I was going to like it or not, but this was right up my street. It was a really, really enjoyable read. And again, I don't like the UK paperback cover because it's like white instead of black, but the hardback cover is stunning. And again, same as with The Wicked Deep, I just couldn't find the hardback copy online anywhere that wasn't an extortionate price. So when I saw this in the bookshop for the price that it was, I went insane. I also wanted to quickly mention another place that is great for buying books, and that is Vinted. I don't have any books to show you right now because the books that I have ordered are on their way. They have not yet arrived, which is absolutely fine. It's Christmas. Who wants to be sending parcels over Christmas? But I actually bought 3 books this week on Vinted and they were all the same book. So one of my all-time favourite books is Hazelwood. This is my original copy that I got back in maybe like 2019. And it had beautiful blue sprayed edges, but they have faded over time, and this copy is just a little bit worse for wear. I am going to keep this copy, but I did want to get another copy that just looked a little bit nicer, and somebody was selling the US cover edition-y thing of this book, which you can only get in America. They've clearly bought it, they're selling it online, and they were selling it for £1, and it looked like it was in really good condition. So I grabbed that, and then I also saw people selling the signed Fairy Loot copies, and I bought 2 because there were 2 sellers selling them, but one of them was signed at the front, one of them was signed at the back, and I asked both of the sellers, the one that had signed at the front, I was like, oh, is this signed at the back? And then the one that was signed at the back, I was like, oh, is this almost signed at the front? And they were like, I've got no idea, it's in my selling pile. So I thought, well, I'll just buy both because they were £2.50 each. And who doesn't want a signed limited edition copy of one of their favourite books for £2.50? But Vinted is a really good place to look for new books. I don't necessarily mean new as in brand new, but I mean new to you for a really good price. For example, this I got off at Vinted. This is one of my favourite books of all time. This is a brand new. This is a new unread copy and I bought this for £1. I was really, really pleased because, like I said, one of my favourite books of all time. So to get that for £1 unread was amazing. I also got these 2 off Vinted. This is the first 2 books in the Eveline Jones series. That one is read, that one is unread. They're both really nice. These are creepy middle grades. So I think it's absolutely fair to say that you do not have to break the bank to find good books. And although I do absolutely love shopping at places like Waterstones and Blackwell's, and it's such a lovely experience and they have such stunning books and there is something really satisfying about going to a new bookstore, it's nice to know that there are other options and you don't have to exclusively buy from one shop, especially when that shop is more expensive than the other options. So with a little bit of digging, you can find some really, really great books that are really affordable. And who knows, you might find some lesser known authors or some books that haven't been on your radar for a really great price. Like that Little Nothing, I've not seen anything about that book anywhere, but I think I'm going to really enjoy it. So it's not just about finding the big name books that are everywhere for a good price. There are also some really great hidden gems. So please comment down below and let me know which of these books you think is the best find. I have to say Winterwood and The Wicked Deep, but which ones were you the most impressed by? And can you recommend any other places to get books on a budget, any other websites, any other shops? I would absolutely love it if you subscribe so we could chat about books together on my next video. Feel free to have a nosy at my channel to check out my other videos, and I will see you again soon. Have a really great rest of your day. Goodbye.